script, I'm going to kill it, especially after what I've been doing with the Hellbringers book and Manalix. So let's get back to doing what we're doing. And now I want to go back to Facebook, which apparently has quit on me because Facebook does not like my working conditions and says there's no way I can be a part of this. What? Is this done? This can't be done. Let's go check. No, it looks like I'm still going. Okay. I was live? Nah, dude, I am live. Facebook? I thought you loved me. I thought we were friends. Okay. So now we're going to go here to the Facebook and see if maybe Facebook's wrong. Yeah, see? It's showing me as live. Oh, hi. Weird. Facebook doing weird things with weird stuff. Alright, I got time for this. Ain't nobody got time for this. You're drawing butt kicking over here. But it is important that I remain in contact with my audience should people have questions or comments that need retribution and or punishment. What? Retribution or punishment? What the hell is that all about? Squeaky wheel gets a greasing. Come on, dude. I can't spend time doing this. Okay, so I need to move on. I really wish that I could respond to what you're saying. I'll have to come back to it. What I'll do is when I'm done, I'll go back to the comments that people make and I will just type them in. I'm going to make fun of myself. You guys can make fun of me and I will respond later. Turn it into one of those Dean Martin roasts without all the drunken Don Rickles jokes. Your hockey puck. I think I just dated myself. I think I just gave you guys, well, I didn't date myself. I mean, I have, technically. A couple of times. I washed my hands when I was done. But what I mean to say is I think I've given you information as to how old I might be. And I think I gave myself an age that requires carbon dating, not regular dating alone. And I'm over here roasting myself so hard that I'm screwing up my arms. Notes. There you go. Back to inks. So anyway, I think you guys might know who Dean Martin is. Dean Martin, or Dino, as he was affectionately referred to by other members of the Rat Pack, was a lounge singer. They called him an old Italian saloon singer. The way he sang was very smooth. He was considered a ladies' man, but he was very much a family man. by most accounts. He was part of Jerry Lewis's early career, and I guess they had a falling out, and they went their separate ways for a long time, and that was actually one of the things that was lampooned by Krusty the Clown on The Simpsons. That whole bit where he met Sideshow Bob again after all the years, that was based on Dean and Jerry. Anyway, Dean Martin used to have these roasts. They were brought about because Don Rickles used to show up at Rat Pack shows in Vegas, on the Strip. And Don Rickles was the original roast comedian. He would make fun of people in the audience like nobody's business. He's still, well, I think he's passed away, but guy was a master. He was so good at it. Like, he would roast people in a way that trolls today just couldn't even hack. He couldn't hack. He's one of those guys that would make fun of you and you'd think it's funny, and then hours or even days later you'd be like, wait a second, he was making fun of me. Dean Martin used to host those roasts. You'll find them on like Comedy Central. Damn funny, man. Damn funny. They're just very inappropriate at times. They would just make fun of people in the worst ways, but it was all done out of love. And Comedy Central picked it up, and they would roast people like Justin Bieber. I think they roasted Donald Trump, Charlie Sheen, David Hasselhoff. I guess they just did it, you know, because they wanted to revive the whole roast comedy thing. I mean, really, all the roasts were just a bunch of friends getting together and cracking on one another. And then at the end, they hugged it out. Hey, man, you know I love you. You know I'm making fun of you because I love you. Nobody got canceled. Jesus, let's not start that discussion. So you'll see that as I'm drawing here, I'm adding a few strand hairs, stray follicles, if you will. And it's because cinematically, those will look really good. And that's kind of what I'm doing, is I'm telling this like cinematic tale in a visual storytelling format. Now, why did I do that? You wondering? Because the way that shape was, it was out too far. It looked almost like that classic Rob Liefeld Captain America chest that everybody makes fun of. Rob's a good guy. I haven't introduced myself personally and met him face to face. I was walking into a convention one time, and I was in a rush. I was trying to get to my table. And as we're coming in, actually, you know what? I'll plug it. It was the Rhode Island Comic Con. I grew up in Providence, so those guys are near and dear to my heart. I got onto the con scene with Granite State Comic Con because the guys that run that opened a store when I first moved to New Hampshire, and I'd like to think we've been friends. I'm sure Scott or Chris is going to hop on if they're watching this video, and they're going to make some sort of derogatory comment, which is cool. It's done in love. Again, no canceling. But as my con experience went on, I got to meet other artists through Scott, through Brett, through Chris, through Tom. I'm sorry, through Scott and Brett and Chris. And I got to meet the guys from Rhode Island. And I was at Rhode Island Comic Con and I was rushing in. And I was like, man, I gotta get to my table. And I'm coming in and it's crowded. And as I'm coming in, I see a silhouette to my right. So I look, and it's Rob Liefeld. Oh, hey, you're Rob Liefeld. What's up? He's like, hey, what's going on, man? I'm like, I would love to shake your hand. And he's like, yeah, you know what? Fist bump. And I was like, oh, okay. My little fanboy heart got butthurt at first. At first. Then I thought about it. That guy probably gets a lot of people wanting to shake his hand. I get it. You know, sometimes people can be gross at conventions. And you definitely can catch con crud. It's no joke. Like, it's just bleh. Like after a convention, you're so emotionally spent, and you come in contact with all these germs, and you really lower your immune system, and you wind up sick. It's just your body recovering. It's just your body like, hey, you know, remember that scene in episode 4 where they're in the basement of Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's house, and he's talking, and 3PO goes, if you don't need me, I'll be shutting myself down now, sir. And then he just shuts down. Con crud. Con crud. Okay, so do I have a background page? I do not. So let's maybe, what was that? What did I just do? What is that? Show layer in 2 panes. I don't know what that does, but I'm not doing it. Backgrounds. So I'm going to take a couple minutes here and throw some backgrounds in. Yup, that's right. I am gonna. Oh, you know, sometimes in my head, the conversations I have before they leave my mouth, they get pretty funny. So while I'm scrolling through here, yeah, I'm a bitch out, and I'm gonna grab some of the textures and I'm gonna throw them in here, make my life easier. Who says that? Trying to be professional here. So what I'm thinking is if I grab something like the wool texture, right? Woolly texture. Yeah, that'll work. Throw it in here. You think to yourself, that's not going to work. In the words of the immortal Jim Carrey, let me show you something. That's a gray. So let me convert it back to color. See what we got here. Then go. Okay, layer mask, apply mask to layer. We got a color layer. We'll switch it to gray and do that. So it selects the black. We'll go to monochrome. Black is selected. Do not know why it will not allow me. Okay. Okay. Convert layer. Monochrome. Do that. We'll go back here. Convert layer. Go from monochrome to color. This is what it allows me to do. It allows me to go in with a pen and go, that's kind of is right there, dude. Okay. Then on that, I'm going to merge down to the backgrounds layer instead of the ink, so the black lines. Do that. See what these are. Do something like this. Then we'll go here and do this. Oh my, did he just change the color? Yes, I did. So this is why I can drink a bunch of coffee and have conversations, have Zoom meetings, and still draw comics and get a bunch done. This is also probably one of the reasons that I needed my heart valve changed up. I needed to get it all sorts of replaced. There's your problem right there. You blew an O-ring. Yes, I did. So, you want to see another trick? We're going to go one layer up. We're going to go here. You guys were watching the other day, right? Where we played around with this. That. No, that's not what we want. Flowers? Was it flowers? No. Vegetation? I want to say it was vegetation. There's a brush I threw in here. It's an explosion. Curly crackle, no thank you. That's the problem with these. Like, I can't remember what I did with some of these brushes, you know? So many things. There we go. What's that? Right, that's... delete that subtool. So we'll go here, and we'll take this brush, and we'll throw it here. Let's experiment a little bit, right? Oof, that is not going to work for me. No, there were two brushes I pulled. I downloaded them. There we go. It was leaf one, leaf blend, and leaf blend. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So, you might be saying to yourself, hey, you're making that look messy. Maybe I am and maybe I ain't. Watch what happens though. Do I have this snap to grid and snap to special? Oh, I thought I turned those off. So, I think I've told you guys before that Oh, okay. I think I told you guys before that you can, when you mask off an area, that area is the only thing that's selected. Okay, so do the dark stuff here. So that stuff is the only stuff that's selected. Okay. Do this one. Drop the leaf size down. Okay. So that's the only thing selected, even though you can see everything else. So when I do something like this, and then we go in with an eraser, and we clean this stuff up. But you just painted all that stuff in there. Yep, I did. I did paint all that stuff in there. And now we're going to unpaint all that stuff in there. If you've watched before, you know that the reason why I do this is because it makes the reality seem a lot more plausible. Because if I have the leaves behind it and they're erased, and I erase up until the edge of something else, it seems realistic. Well, as realistic as you'd expect. I mean, a bunch of kung fu guys swinging around swords made out of air and fire. Let's see what I got. Anything open? No. Alright, so deselect. Merge down to my backgrounds, layers. Okay, so go down to backgrounds. Like that. Okay. So go above, merge down, everything's 100%. See, does it look good? I think so. So here's what we'll do. We'll turn off sketch, and we'll see what we got. What? That's pretty. Is there a halftone, you say? Possibly. And it's going to be like this, and I'm going to overdo it one of these days. I'm going to overdo it with the halftones. I'm positive. Come in and see if we overlapped anything. Should we clean it up? Like, but we're good. All right, save that. What do you say we do one of these panels down here? And then he's hurt, and then Alex does his crazy thing. Boom. That one's going to be with his back. Okay. So how about this? We'll do this one. Close these. Oh, you know what? We can do this. One inks. We'll go here. Do the streamline, scan, brightness. Layer mask applied. deselect, shut that off, even though, you know, it looks pretty. I'm gonna get crazy in here. Okay. This one doesn't look here. I'm not told what the ear does, or I know what the ear does. I mean, I paid attention in biology class. And what? Funny joke. I have not been told why his ear is mangled and to what degree it's mangled. I haven't been told the backstory, which makes it better for me. So I need him to look pained, like he's got this grimace of pain on his face. That is going to get done in the eyes, and in the eyebrows. Like that. Now I'm slowing down and I'm not going quick with these lines because I want them to be shaky. I want them to convey like insecurity and a little bit of fear. And you do that with like weak, shaky lines. Sketch. Go here. That's where the page, that's how that works. Yeah, it's like a couple of inches off the forehead. That goes like that. This can come from here. Oh no, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm trying to sculpt this face here. I want it to seem so painful, so pathetic. I use myself sometimes to get like a feel for it. I use myself. It's ridiculous. I'm sitting here talking about how pathetic I want this thing to look, and then I go and tell you guys how I use myself as a model. I want this to look pathetic, so in order to get the right sense, I use myself as a model because I'm pathetic. That's not what I mean. I use myself occasionally for anatomy, like, hey, how far is this? And this gives me an idea as to what the proper measurements are. I'm not pathetic. It's right here on the inks layer. Let's to here. I feel like that should tilt a little bit. Okay. I still have the pen. If you've ever seen someone in pain, or you've ever been in pain so much that your face just grimaces, you'll know those little furrowed, like, oh my god, the parts of your eyebrow that just kind of cave in on themselves from sheer fear and weakness. And whatevers. This is a cartoon. But it's drawn from real life. Yeah, I've been hurt a couple times like that. There was one time as a kid I was playing soccer with my friends and I bounced off the goalpost and broke my arm. No good. And I went home. My very supportive single father looked at my arm in a very fatherly tone, turned to me and said, "Congratulations, dumbass, you broke your arm. Get your shoes, let's go to the hospital." GTs. GTs. So when I got to the hospital, they, of course, assumed that my father had something to do with it. He was stern, but he didn't break my arm, kids. That was all heads. So, doctor takes this topical stuff, the spray, and sprays it on my arm. And all the top of my arm goes white. And it's cold. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, cool. And then he snaps my arm back into place. And I made that face. Note for all you pediatricians out there, you ever have to reset a little kid's arm, wait until the anesthetic takes hold. Run a test, man. Poke the kid's arm with a pen or something. What the F? Comes in the back. I got the whole idea of the hair. And it looks tragic enough. It really does. He does look pretty sad. Oh, sad. You know what? Look at that. That's nicely pathetic, huh? Talk about falling from grace. I've got a teardrop now. I'm a bad man. Oh. You know what you can blame this on? You can blame this on Vet TV. Dude. I was watching a little bit of that today. And if you don't know about Vet TV and you are a prior service member, I encourage you to plunk down your $5 and subscribe to Vet TV. It's a streaming service that's caters to people like us. It's pretty funny, man. It's got that dark sense of humor that, you know, you're used to being in. It's just hilarious. Oh, it's funny stuff. It's not funny to civilians, but it's funny to us. Okay, let's zoom back a little bit. Get an idea of what we're doing. What am I doing? Oh, that's what I'm doing. Oof. I love how crazy sad that looks. It looks... Oh. Your boy goes from looking like Dee Snider to looking like the lead singer of Wasp or Stryper. And you know what? If you like 80s hair bands, that was a damn fine reference. Okay, so there is this layer I have. And let's mask off the panel. Actually, you know what? Those scattered century lines. Okay, those are going to need to go here. And we're going to have to go in here. Drop the opacity so I can tell the difference. Zoom in so I can clean up this. Zoom back up. Okay, so we're gonna do the rectangle business. The rectangle business. This just turned into a hybrid of The Godfather and Sesame Street. We're the only ones that run the rectangle business in this town. There we go. Okay, so let's show sketch. Sketch goes away. We have that. The reason why I did that is because I can't take the chance of me having that panel selected and then bumping up the opacity on what I selected, and then the rest of the page, really the rest of that layer. Wow. Okay. So we'll fix that. We'll get it to a spot where we can live with it. Grab the eyedropper tool, grab that, bring the opacity up to there, and we'll change the color. Like that. And there's a reason why I was, well, these ones are going under the ink, so you're not fooling me. There's a reason why I was messing with the opacity, and I had that whole panel masked off. I'm going to go back to it, and I'll show you what I mean. You see those follicles under the panel? Those are going to get fixed. However, So, oh man. Yeah. Oh my. I can't do that. It's gotta be this color. I have to leave that color up to later so I can have it match the scene. Oh, goodness. This brush is just gorgeous. There's another one. Is it under India ink? There's a watercolor. I tell you, there are some brushes in here. I'm just tickled pink with. Pickled tank. I have no idea what that means. It's a wonderful spoonerism, though. Can you go up here? Big. Blocking. There's no, like, bloody. Hey, look at this. Should be like a Friday the 13th brush. So incidentally, you can get brushes, like if you dabble, if you use, digital illustration, you can use Photoshop brushes, you can use, what is this? You can use all sorts of other, ooh, that is nice! That is nice. What did I do? I'm gonna go here. Oh, look at that. Ooh. The texture on this brush is just definitely lives up to its name. Grossified. Okay, so back to what I was saying. You can use different brushes. You can use brushes from like Photoshop. You can use brushes from Procreate. These I actually bought online. I bought these brushes because another cartoonist friend of mine was using them, and I asked him what they were, and I looked them up and found them. There was a whole bunch of them, and I bought them. But you can get them from other shops. Go back here. Look at that. That's pretty, right? That's pretty. He looks like he's ready to die. Oh, you know what? I just realized I left something out. Anybody pay attention? Anybody know what that is? That's right. Green Ramos Scar. Don't know how we got it, but we can't take it away. That should come up. Okay, let's go here and do that. Oh, It's 7 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to get food. I'm going to go back to doing what I'm doing. But you guys won't be a part of that because I have to hop onto the other project that you guys can't see. However, like I said, true to my word, I'm going to go check the tape and respond to people's comments, questions. You guys can hit me up anytime. I hope you enjoyed what it was I was doing here tonight. Feel free to come back tomorrow. I'm going to try, well, I'm not going to try. I'm going to do my best to make sure that every night at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I am streaming and showing you guys what I'm doing and answering any sort of questions. So, again, thanks for watching. Any questions, hit me up. Find me on social media. Thank you. Have a good night.